Hey everyone, it's Becky. This isn't going to be a normal episode. There's no guest today. It's just me catching you up on some stuff that's been building for a while behind the scenes and that I think is finally ready to talk about out loud. Two big things happened in the last month or so, and they're kind of the same story, wearing two different hats, so to speak. One is a book and one is a day job. Let's start with the book. I've been mulling over this idea for a couple of years now, and it took me until this past spring to see what was actually in front of me. Almost 18 years of raw material from being a very pregnant grad student to watching my oldest kid get ready for college this fall. That's not a side note to my creative life. That arc is my practice, whether or not I was making anything you could hang on a wall any given year. The working title is Borrowed Time. It's a braided narrative, part memoir, part cultural criticism, part oral history project, and part workbook. My story is the verse, if you will, with every guest across two seasons of the podcast creating the chorus. And there's a research thread running through the middle that I need your help with, which I'll get to in a second. Here's the argument in rough form. I don't think the real tension for artists who are also parents is between creativity and caregiving. I think it's the same tension every artist faces, parent or not. It's between making the work and making money, between sustaining a creative practice and being taken seriously while you do it. Some of us were told a graduate degree was a shortcut into that world. Some of us were told passion alone would carry us. Some of us weren't told anything at all and just figured it out. What we all have in common is the gap between what we pictured and what actually happened, and the fact that we keep making work anyway. I know that because it's my story. And based on two seasons of conversations with a lot of you listening right now, it's yours too. So here's where I need you. Threaded through the middle of the book project is a survey. It's not academic or long, takes about 15 minutes. And it's for anyone who has taken a creative practice seriously, however you trained or didn't, grad school or no grad school, still making work consistently or making it in 6 year gaps like I sometimes have. I want to know what you're actually doing now, what you wish someone had told you along the way, and what your borrowed time years have actually produced. I'll link the survey in the show notes. And honestly, the best thing you can do for this project isn't just taking it yourself, it's also forwarding it to one artist who you feel should be part of this conversation as well. Okay, second thing, I quit my day job. I want to be clear, this isn't a dramatic exit story. The job was good to me for almost 7 years, the longest I've ever stayed in any one job. It got my kids and me through distance learning during the pandemic. It's, the reason I became a project manager. It sent me to Brighton more than once, to London, Copenhagen, Montreal. Last but not least, it gave me people I now just call friends, not coworkers. But I'm coming up on a certain milestone birthday next year. My son just went through the entire college application process. Somewhere in the middle of that, I realized I couldn't make the pivot I actually wanted while also working full time on top of everything else. So I gave notice. I spent a long time this past year taking stock of the 18 years since grad school and honestly agonizing over it a little. But here's kind of where I've landed. I have an adult kid and a teenager. I ran my own creative business for a few years. I built a podcast from absolute scratch and recorded two full seasons of it, 6 years apart, entirely alone. My studio practice is smaller than I want it to be, not going to lie, but it's never actually stopped. This book project that I'm working on is the direct result of all of that. Not because I have a book deal, to be clear, I don't, and I'm not delusional about that, but because I finally have room to work on it properly before I go looking for whatever's next. One thing I keep coming back to is guilt. The art guilt is real, but I don't think it means I'm failing at art. I think it means I've been grieving having less time and space for it than I want, which is a completely different thing. That guilt, that sort of low hum of FOMO, isn't a signal to quit being an artist. If anything, it's proof this still matters to me more than almost anything else. So, what does this look like? Practically, three pillars going forward: growth, which is just my studio practice and picking up some new skills I've been considering for years; community immersion, which is this podcast, the book project, and applying to exhibitions and residencies again; and a third thing I'm prototyping called the plant. More on that another time because it's not ready yet. There's a line from the film Little Miss Sunshine I've been thinking about. The character Dwayne basically says toward the end, do what you love, F the rest. A little crude, but accurate. And I'm taking that fairly literally for a while. So that's the update: a book project, a survey I'd genuinely love your 15 minutes for, and a day job I no longer have. If you want to follow the book as it develops or take the survey, everything's linked in the show notes and over on Substack. And if you know one artist who should be part of this, please send it their way. Finally, as always, if you enjoy this podcast, please leave the show a rating or a review. Thanks as always for listening, and more soon.